G'day guys, MVL here. Just having a look at Age of Empires Online. Now this is a relatively new game that's out on Steam. You can also just get off the Age of Empires Online website if you want it. It is 100% free. It's a microtransaction kind of game, so what happens is you buy this game, you download the game for free and you get the Greek and the Egyptian. See, I'm going Egyptian just now. You get their campaigns for free, but there are two other civilizations. You can also get the Persians and the Celts, which you have to pay for if you want them. Now most of the content is free, however the skirmishes and a wave form, which I'll show you later on, you do have to buy as well. So it's good if you like the campaigns in these games. If you don't like the campaigns, then maybe not for free. But however, there is a deal going at the moment where you can buy all the contact packs for $16, so it's still pretty cheap. Anyway, so at the moment I'm just going through a technology tree. Now the way this game works is similar to Age of Empires 3 if you ever played it, is you have a base city that you return to after quests and other things like that. Just going into a quest now with the Egyptians. And what happens is you want to level up your civilization. So you can jump into a game, and each game is, this one here is a quest, and you start with these units, and the aim of this quest at the moment is you have to destroy these gold caravans and some bandit chieftains. Now the thing I'm killing at the moment with that little fire, they're little chests that you collect along the way, and that gives you little items that you can put onto your different units and buildings and stuff, and it gives them boosts. Like say you pick up a bow and it just happens to give your archers, depending on which archer you put it on, plus 7% to damage. At the one I just opened then, it only had some materials in it. Materials are also used, you can get little crafting things at your home city, and you craft those same little tools. Now you also get ships in this game. The naval warfare at the moment doesn't seem to be all that crash hot. Pretty basic. I haven't really used them much. This is pretty much the first time I've ever used ships actually at all on this little quest here. Now I'm just jump through the quest, show you different bits of the scenes. You do get XP for destroying stuff in game, so you just get 5 XP for that. So the XP isn't much, but if you play a game and you destroy a crap load of units and villages and houses and crap like that, it does add up after a while. So there's lots of different types of quests. There are tutorial quests to start with. If you noticed, I did click skip tutorial. It takes you straight to level 3, because the first couple of quests that you have to do before you can do anything else gets you to level 3 anyway. So there we go, just finish the quest, and you click on your little map thing, and then you can go back to your town center and accept your quest and receive your XP. You also get, depending on the quest, items or unlockables, and this particular one you get to choose one of these things. So I chose the bow one because I like using my archers, and then you can go, once you build the actual building that you need to equip shit, you can then put that bow onto whichever unit you prefer. So it is kind of cool, like you get to choose what you prefer, like if you prefer your cavalry or your infantry or your archery, your siege units, anything like that. This one here, this is a quest for defending my friend's town. So you see up in the top left hand corner there, I'm playing with Ginger 3. It's one of my friends, and I can right click on her name and click defend city, and it's a quest and I'll get XP for it. So pretty much all it is this randomly generated town is being attacked by people. You're given her civilization's units. So I'm playing as Greek at the moment, but because she's an Egyptian player, I've got Egyptian units, and I just go on there, wipe out these guys. If you see on the left there, the right, they're just under the map, there is a countdown timer. I just skip forward so you didn't have to watch me sitting here doing nothing for 2 minutes, and that's when more units will come in. You just have to hold them off. Now that comes into play in another mode, which I'll talk to you about later on. Like most strategy games, you do have to balance your units. So if you make an army of horses of one specific type, you're probably not going to do too well unless they're a really good unit. So for example, you got spearmen. Every civilization I've found so far has spearmen. They're just called spearmen, nothing special. and they are good against horses. They're the first unit you can build. They're not very good against other units, but they're very good against horses. And then you can with the Egyptians, you get axemen. With the Greeks, you get hypacists or some weird Greek name, and they're good against other infantry units. And you get a lot of other little coins and points and stuff, and less empire points, which are only useful if you've got premium. And then you get town points depending on which town you do quests in. So I've just jumped across to, who am I playing as here? This looks like the Celts. I think I'm playing as Celts now. Now the Celts are based off the Gauls, which are French, if you didn't know that. Unlike Age of Empire 2 Celts, which were based off the Scottish. So there's just a little bit differences here and there. But this quest here is almost identical to the Egyptian quest. They're both the first quest after your tutorial. They both destroy some. This one here is, instead of destroying caravans and chieftains, it's destroying bandit warlords and docks. But essentially the same thing. Each civilization has its own campaign, and the Celts campaign at the moment is the best. It's the newest one out, but it is a premium civilization, so you do have to pay for them. But like I said, most things don't cost that much. I think they're between about $3 and $7 per content pack, or you can buy the like content packs which are added together for discounts and stuff like that. Pretty cool. So you want to do lots of quests in this because you want to get your levels up. You see up the top there, just above the little Roman numeral 2 is an XP bar, and that XP bar is your total XP bar up to your next level. Now getting up levels in this is quite, well, unusual, because you can play skirmishes with your friends, and the skirmishes, unless you play against ridiculously hard computers, aren't worth much XP, so you're better off doing quests like this to get up levels. Now the reason you want to get up levels is because getting up levels gives you points to use in your tech tree, and you use those points in your tech tree to unlock stuff in game. So for example, before you even go up a level, if you build a blacksmith, which is usually used to upgrade your units in game, your blacksmith won't have anything to do. It will just be a building, nothing. So you go back to your town center and you upgrade your tech points, and then you use those, and you'll put, say, I use a lot of archers, so I'll chuck it on bows, and then in game with your blacksmith you can then do bows. This one here is the waves, so it's kind of just, well, if you don't know what waves are, you need a bit of help. But so what it is you'll have a wave, and it'll just be a whole group of enemies that just come attack you. You defeat that wave, and another one comes, and another one comes, and another one comes, and there's a set amount. And once you complete all the waves, you get XP. Now this is actually an extremely good way of getting XP, and it is also co-op, so you can play this one with your friends. However, this is a premium, so you can do a demo, which will give you, I don't know, some crappy little unit or something. If you've got premium and you've bought this particular content pack, then you get crap loads of XP. Like this one here, I think is only 10 waves, and it's like this easy waves, pretty much the standard one, really easy. And you still get 4,500 XP, which a skirmish, the average skirmish I get, which can last up to an hour, you get 500 to 1,000 XP. So this is a much better way of doing it. But it's a wave, it's not like a full game. You can PvP, you can play against other people, but I haven't done that yet. I just don't know anyone to fight against, really. This wave type is gives you a false sense of security. Like, you start off and it's quite easy and you're like, oh man, this is gonna be a breeze, and then you gotta be careful of these guys. They send in a ram, and 2 hits from the ram and the friggin' tower's pretty much dead, so you have to kill it quickly. But yeah, so you think you're rolling them, and then all of a sudden they roll you. You don't have enough units to defend them, they destroy the crap out of your towers so quickly, you're just like, oh, what the hell's going on? Now, one of the best buildings in this game is that thing right there, the fortress. It does massive amounts of damage, and it has massive amounts of health, or whatever you want to call it. Now, villagers aren't quite as useless as you'd think. They do some damage, and they've got quite a bit of health, unlike the rest of the Age of Empire games. Graphically wise, this game is more reminiscent of probably Age of Mythology. Like, if you can run Age of Mythology on your computer, you can probably run this one pretty well. Unlike Age of Empires 3, which was higher graphics. Now, this is a fun game to have. It is free, so you're not paying for anything. It is, I think it's about a 4 gig download, so it's quite hefty if you have limited download. So I'd recommend downloading it in your off-peak if you have it. It's good to play with friends or against friends. The Greeks and Egyptians are free, like I said, but the Celts and the Persians aren't. Now, the Persians you can't actually play as and get their levels up. When you get them, you just automatically level 20. Not sure why. And the skirmish costs money if you want to play it, and the wave game costs money if you want to play it. If your friend owns them and adds you to the party, you can play it with them, even if you don't own it, but you won't get the XP for it, so it's kind of pointless. And now I think I'll just be showing you the skirmish setup in Cyprus. So I've already added my friend, so add her to the game. Then you get to choose if you want to play Conquest Standard or the Wonder game type. You get to choose your map, your resources, difficulty of the person you get, and all the different civilizations do different things. So that's Age of Empires. I highly recommend you all getting it, giving it a shot, and MDL out.